In this video essay, I want to be unveiling the Madonna whore complex in Italian cinema. So, diving into the world of Italian cinema, it has long been celebrated for its ability to capture Italy's cultural and societal complexities, from its post-war neo-realist masterpieces to its experimental ventures during the 1960s. Italian filmmakers have consistently sought to explore themes of identity, morality, and power. However, one recurring theme that underscores many iconic films in depicting women through the lens of the Madonna whore complex. In an article I read about modern intimacy, it defines it as the Madonna whore complex is a psychological complex often perpetrated by heterosexual cisgender males, which place women into two categories: the Madonna, defined as a woman who is pure, virtuous, and nurturing, or a whore, a woman who is deemed as overly sexual, manipulating, and promiscuous. The dichotomy of the Madonna whore complex creates a rigidity that limits women's sexual expression, agency, and freedom by defining their sexuality into one of two categories. So this binary framework where women are categorized either as saintly figures of purity or overall sexualized being not only reflects Italy's cultural tensions around gender, but also underscores a broader societal struggle with morality and patriarchal power. So, by examining films like Divorce Italian Style, Blow Up, and 8½, alongside theoretical insights from Sigmund Freud and Ernesto di Cristofano, one can unravel how Italian cinema has perpetrated and at times critiqued this reductive portrayal of women. So, the Madonna whore complex, first articulated by Freud in his essay, A Special Type of Choice of Object Made by Men. In this essay, he illustrates the tendency of men to place women into two categories: the virtuous Madonna, who embodies chastity and maternal grace, or the sinful whore, who symbolizes temptation and moral corruption. Italian cinema often mirrors this duality, positioning female characters as models of moral goodness or embodiments of desire. For instance, in Pietro Germi's Divorce Italian Style, the protagonist, Fernando, is trapped in a loveless marriage with his overly devoted and traditionally virtuous wife, Rosalia. In stark contrast with her sensuality and youth, Fernando's younger cousin, Angela, represents a liberating yet morally ambiguous alternative. The film's satirical lens critiques societal hypocrisy, where women's worth is tied to their roles as either submissive wives or objects of male desire, while exposing the absurdity of Italy's outdated laws and cultural norms surrounding marriage and divorce. And here is a clip from the film, as you can see, where the main character is daydreaming about murdering his very loving wife. And Michelangelo Antonio's Blow Up further complicates the Madonna horror binary by exploring themes of voyeurism and the objectification of women. This is set in London, and the film follows this photographer Thomas, whose interactions with women are devoid of emotional connection and laden with power dynamics. So the female characters, from the mysterious Jane to the nameless models, are portrayed primarily through Thomas's perspective, which reduces them to aesthetic objects rather than individuals. While Blow Up is often celebrated for its avant-garde narrative and visual style, it also underscores the pervasive male gaze that dominates Italian cinema, perpetrating the notion that women exist primarily as projections of male fantasies. And in this clip, you see him literally treating these models as mannequins. And for Didaco Finelli's 8½, he provides perhaps the most introspective critique of the Madonna whore complex. The film's protagonist, Guido, is a director struggling with creative and personal crises, often depicted through his interactions with women who represent various facets of his psyche. Guido's wife, Luisa, embodies the Madonna archetype, characterized by her patience and moral uprightness, while his mistress, Carla, represents the whore, exuding sensuality and through Guido's fragmented memories and fantasies. Fellini exposes the protagonist's internalized misogyny and the societal struggles that perpetrate these reductive categories. By blending reality and imagination, 8.5 invites viewers to question not only Kyoto's perspective, but also the broader cultural constructs that shape gender roles in Italian cinema. So, to understand the historical and cultural roots of the Madonna horror complex in Italian cinema, one must consider Italy's deeply ingrained Catholic heritage and patriarchal social structure. As Ernesto Di Cristofano, in his article, The Crime of Honor in Italian History, reveals notions of female purity and honor have long been tied to family and societal expectations. Women were often burdened with upholding their family's reputation through their chastity, while transgressions, real or perceived, could result in dire consequences. Italian cinema, influenced by these cultural norms, frequently reflects this dichotomy, using female characters to navigate the moral anxieties of rapidly modernizing society. Yet, Italian filmmakers have also used the medium to critique and subvert these stereotypes. The sarcastic tone of divorce Italian style, the self-reflective narrative of 8.5, and the ambiguous morality of blow-ups suggest a growing awareness of the limitations imposed by the Madonna horror binary. These films, while perpetrating certain stereotypes, also challenge audiences to question their validity and the societal structures that sustain them. So, in conclusion, the Madonna horror complex serves as a lens through which Italian cinema has explored the intersections of gender, morality, and power. And looking at the films, alongside the frameworks we provided, one can uncover the cultural tensions that shape these narratives. While these films often reflect societal norms, they also provide a platform for critique, inviting viewers to reconsider the roles assigned to women in both cinema and society. As Italian cinema continues to evolve, it holds the potential to move beyond these binaries, offering more nuanced and authentic representations of gender and identity. Thank you all for listening today, and I hope you learned a little bit about the Madonna horror complex in Italian cinema.